She always reached out for their hand in the middle of the night, reassuring herself that her beloved was still cradled beside her. No darkness of any dream could overtake her then. Fear had a foe, and the foe was love in the flesh. The 23rd Psalm reminds us that in all shadows is fear, threats in the valley of the shadow of death. Every child has to learn that things, people, even they themselves die. It is this great unknown with a shadow stretching from the once and future grave into our present moment. The psalmist calls it the shadow of death, and it elicits fear. A quote by Carl Jung, psychologist, said, "The greatest tragedies of the human experience are those bound to the shadow." End quote. There is a reason that Psalm 23 resonates with our souls. And in that black hole is fear of separation more than anything else. Where will I be? And how will I be? Alone? In what place do I find the connection to all I have ever loved and who has ever loved me? These thoughts are not peace-inducing. Lao Tzu, philosopher, wrote, "If you are depressed, you're living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future." Well, who would not be anxious if all one can see is the shadow being cast today by a future we both know and do not know, and with the absence of the comfort of companionship promised? Taken from Luke 24. Some people were discussing the events leading up to and including the torture and crucifixion of Jesus. They told too of what had happened after his death, how he had been made known to them in the breaking of the bread. And while they were talking about this, Jesus himself stood among them and said to them, "Peace be with you." And they were startled and terrified and thought that they were seeing a ghost. He said to them, "Why are you frightened? And why do doubts arise in your hearts? Look at my hands. Look at my feet. See that it is I myself. Touch me and see, for a ghost does not have flesh and bones as you see that I have." And when he had said this, he showed them his hands, his feet. And while in their joy, they were disbelieving and still wondering. And he said to them, "Have you anything to eat?" More than once after Jesus' death, it is recorded he shows up in unexpected ways. What is being communicated? That was for the disciples to puzzle out. Was the message that Jesus never leaves? That we are not alone? That even when all we can see is separation, there is connection? The stories of Jesus showing up unannounced and rather mysteriously were turning points in the lives of the disciples. Words spoken in the past took on new meaning in the present context, and those words declared something about the future that could not be ignored. "Lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age," takes on new meaning. In this recounting of the Christ encounter, it is revealed Jesus is absent, but also very much present. How is it so? Is he spirit or among them in bodily form? Jesus calls out their unspoken questions and fears and says, "Am I a ghost?" and shows the marks on his body. And then, rather bizarrely, in all the anxieties of the present days for the disciples, he asks, "Do you have anything to eat?" Ghosts don't eat. In the question and in the sharing of the meal together, we learn in whatever form Jesus hungered and took sustenance. He was alone and he sought companionship. Disguised, as it were, he walks alongside while followers and others spoke of the events that had taken place. But Jesus made sure the great reveal was found in the sharing of that meal, in the breaking of the bread. What the followers hold on to is the memory of having a banquet together at the side of the lake, Jesus only moments before, unseen, and in the blink of an eye is revealed to them in the sharing of the bread, in the sharing of the meal, in the sharing of companionship at the side of the road, at the simple shore lunch. Jesus seems to be repeating a lesson first gifted the night before his death. This is my body, this is my bread, I am present in it. Do this together, and remember, I am with you, I am with you. Does he not say, I am with you in the shadow, in the chaos and confusion, in the sacrifice, but also in the moments shared together at the table? There we see, know, and receive the intent and extent of God's love, and in its intention in us, love as I have loved. Quote by Jesus the Christ. Here's a quote by philosopher Lao Tzu. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. A quote from last week's reflection in a new context, a quote by Dorothy Day. We cannot love God unless we love each other. And to love, we must know each other. We know him in the breaking of the bread, and we know each other in the breaking of the bread, and we are not alone anymore. Heaven is a banquet, and life is a banquet, too, even with a crust where there is companionship. In the night, in the day, more than your hand is held, and you hold more than Christ's. The fears of the day and the times that we live within are nothing compared to the limitless power found in love. Love divine. Jesus calls us into peace despite what we might see and experience around us, saying, even tonight, peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I give, not as the world gives.